DeepSeek V3 0324 released a few days ago since you've been watching this video. Let's give it a shot and let's see how well it actually performs. So we're actually pairing it up against DeepSeek R1, which is running locally on my machine, and it's going to be competing with DeepSeek V3 0324 powered by OpenRouter in this case. And I am using the paid one so we get the best test results possible. Cool. So that's the prompt. Now we're going to press the old enter. And now we can see both of these models going crazy. So there we go. V3's already decided to start writing. DeepSeek R1 thought for a little while. And here we go. Now, the comparison is kind of like, it's a little bit biased because, of course, DeepSeek R1 that's running on my machine right now is only 8 billion parameters. It doesn't really have, as much intelligence compared to, but I think we will see the version 1, I think will end up being, yes, the DeepSeek R1 version. So let's see what that looks like. Okay. I think we're waiting for this one to finish as well. So as you can see, DeepSeek V3 took a little bit longer, but again, it's an unfair test. And we're not testing on the speed, we're testing on how good the quality is of the result. So I have the folder here. Let's call this R1 HTML. Okay. And we're going to copy this code that is written here so graciously for us. Okay. Now I think that's the first one. Not entirely sure which one that is, but we'll have a look. So I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to paste it into here. And I'm also going to do the same for V3. We'll just call it v3.html, and then we'll copy that here and paste it in. All right, now let's have a look at R1 first. Let's see how that performed. Okay, so yeah, the R1 obviously is quite buggy. A few issues there with the code. Options doesn't really work, and it's not really premium enough. Cool, that's fine. Let's see how the V3 version compares. It's already off to a fantastic start. I don't think it's actually completed the code fully. And yes, I was correct. So it's still writing this. That's fine. We'll give it some time, but already it's off to a fantastic start. As you can see, so DeepSeek V3 really has stepped up its paces compared to previous models. After this is complete, I'll do a comparison comparing the original DeepSeek V3 with this new update, and let's see which one performs best. Excellent. And what I might do is I'll keep this rolling, and then we can just speed up the process so then we can see how the results of DeepSeek V3 with the latest update. I should also mention that we are using OpenWeb UI to make all of this happen. So shout out to the team at OpenWeb UI for allowing us to use pretty much any AI model we please. The thing is, this is costing me money. I mean, I didn't realize it was going to be that fucking slow. Okay, we're adding a pricing section. So if we do a line-by-line comparison, so I think the R1 version produced about 126 lines of code, whereas this is producing about, we're already at almost 500 lines. So yeah, already it's going to be way more comprehensive, way more detailed compared to the DeepSeek R1 version, which is an 8 billion parameter model being compared to a 683 billion parameter model. Not the fairest test, as I said, but we will be seeing the difference between the original DeepSeek V3 and DeepSeek V3 0324. Okay, nearly there. Now, sometimes speed is not everything. So sometimes it's about getting a more quality and more accurate answer or more provocative response. And sometimes, if you have to wait a little bit for that, I think it's worth it. And from what we've seen thus far, I mean, this is what it produced at that point. I think this is going to look fantastic, but I could be wrong. That's all right. We go to the footer. Once you get to the footer, then we're pretty close. So we have reached the end of the response and it did not finish the code, actually. That is such a shame. Okay, right. So it's not really the best start, to be honest. I know it has produced a much better result, but it hasn't actually finished the code. So that's bad marks already. As you can see, I actually have Ada open here and I was trying to use the free version, DeepSeek V3, but I don't think it's not supported just as yet, maybe in the new update. But what we'll do is we'll just paste that. So as you can see, we're close and it's trying to, okay, so autocomplete has just finished the code for me. It's kind of cheating, but let's see what it's produced. Okay, so that already looks fantastic. Wow. I mean, that's a production ready website, man. Like, that's not bad. I wouldn't mind giving something like this to a customer if they wanted this, if this was their vision. I think this is totally acceptable for a website. So, okay. All right. Not too bad. We had to get another AI to complete the code, unfortunately, but we got there in the end. And it did end up producing 600 and what was it? 600 and I want to get the accurate number here. So it ended up producing 662 lines of HTML code mixed in with Tailwind's CSS and JavaScript as well. Honestly, not a bad attempt. All right, let's have a look at a comparison between, I'll just start up a new chat here. Let's use V324 and let's compare that to actual DeepSeek here. So there we are, both running on OpenRouter, and they're both going to get the same prompts just so we can keep it all uniform and accurate. All right, same prompt. Let's go. So let's see the difference. I'm very excited to see this. Okay, so already, as you can see, the difference is already beginning to, you can notice it because it's DeepSeek V3 original decided to write the styles first for the custom animations and then go into that. However, V3, the latest version, O324, decided to update the config of the Tailwind first, so then we can make it easier to integrate. So that's already off to a pretty decent start, I'd say. Oh, okay. DeepSeek V3 is done, apparently. So let's, right. Okay. Let me just change that to V3 original HTML. Perfect. And paste this in and we'll run a new server and see what that looks like here. Right. So this is what the original DeepSeek has done. Welcome to the premium experience. I mean, that's pretty, to be honest, that's pretty fuck all. Like, it's not really what I wanted, but kind of is, kind of isn't. Okay, so DeepSeek V3, not really the best there. That's okay. Let's create a new version here, V3 2304 HTML. Cool. Now, if I'm correct, yes, it's still going here. So let's see if it even finishes the website. There's a substantial difference that I can already see here, guys. Like, they're both pretty much the same model. One has just had an update and one is the original, and the difference is almost night and day now. Like, this is producing much better results as opposed to the original model. And it's not just better results, it's actually providing way more detailed results as well. It's almost as if it's thinking about what it's saying before it's responding and kind of analyzing it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they put a little bit of R1 inside this new update. So then it kind of reasons with itself for a few seconds before responding. I would not be surprised at all. But cool, looks like we're almost done with the contact section now, then the footer section. So this one should complete by the looks of things. Yeah, I think, I mean, look, most of these models can code. Like, that's just pretty obvious, right? Whether you're using a 3 billion parameter model, an 8 billion parameter model, or a 600 billion parameter model, 32, whatever, it really doesn't matter. All of these models can code. The difference is, right, is how good the quality of the code is that it's producing, right? And again, that comes down to the level of intelligence, that comes down to how much it's actually been trained on code. And it really also depends on whether it's designed for coding or not, right? You can't expect to use a writing model to produce, a Hello World landing page that's going to be as good as a model that's designed to create that in the first place. So again, it comes back to use case and task specific AI models that can really surpass almost human level intelligence and use them in tandem as like a team. So if you need a writing AI model, then you utilize that, but then you also can utilize a coding model as well that can help you develop things on the fly, or also have a legal model there as well to help you out with the legalities of that, for example, and those kinds of things. That's the kind of world we're most certainly heading into. Okay, so while I've been talking then rambling on, we actually managed to hit 460 lines of code, which is crazy. So it's still going clearly, and it's writing the JS right now, which is all right. So it's finished writing the HTML, no worries. So I'm pretty excited to see what this website looks like, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. This actually looks pretty good. All right, so compared to what DeepSeek V3 has done, I am very confident. And as you can see already, that looks wow. Again, very, very similar to what it created before, but okay. I mean, I'm pretty blown away by that. Not going to lie. Like, yeah, again, it's very, very similar. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so I can actually run the code. So everything's working on the site as well. All the anchor links are working clearly. Get started for free. Yep, nice. I mean, that's really cool on its own right there. The fact that we can just do that. So yeah, I mean, what else do you want me to say, guys? Like, DeepSeek V3 0324 is incredible, and I would highly suggest you guys try it out. And if you are worried about, data privacy and all that kind of stuff, you can always download quantized versions of this model, or you can use them that are hosted. There are models available that are hosted on US servers, so you don't have to worry about where your data is going because it's going somewhere that you trust already. Yeah, so with that being said, this was just a bit of a test and a comparison just to see how well DeepSeek V3 0324 compares against its original predecessor known as DeepSeek V3. So yeah, I think overall, I think this is a massive, massive change, a massive update. Actually, while we're here, guys, I just want to quickly try out how it would do on, okay, tell me a story about a man trying to get rich by making a difference in the world. Right. I just want to see what it is like when it's writing. So it's interesting how the latest update went from writing code slowly to then writing text quickly rather, and then the original model's doing the exact opposite of that. Very interesting. Okay. They're both pretty good. Like they're both pretty good at writing. So I think, I don't know, I still feel like this is a little bit more pleasing to read as opposed to this. I could write something like this if I really tried as a human, but to get to this kind of writing level, I feel like I would have to go through a lot of courses and a lot of seminars and sessions as a human to understand how to write like this. But the fact that it's already, I mean, that's beautiful, right? That's fantastic. So again, I mean, look, again, I'm by no means am I an expert in writing or coding, but I would suggest that the latest update is definitely a noticeable difference. That's what I'm going to say. My final conclusion is DeepSeek V3 0324 has a noticeable difference compared to its predecessor. So definitely try it out for yourselves if you want to try the latest AI models and everything like that. Do check out OpenRouter if you want to download them locally onto your device. Check out Ollama and OpenWebUI. You can run the models yourself and have them in a beautiful interface like this. And if you are a business and you need a customized version of this entire system that you're seeing on your screen, why don't you reach out to us at atechds.com and we can definitely sort you out there. It's our bread and butter at the moment, guys. This is what we love deploying for businesses because this is truly the answer to everything. And don't be scared by seeing DeepSeek here. Again, as I said, you can use US hosted versions of the model and you can also download them locally onto your device so it doesn't go anywhere except for your computer. These models may have had a bad rap in the news, guys, but honestly, these are some of the best intelligent, locally and free open source available models that are on our hands right now. So we should appreciate what DeepSeek has done for us. If you did enjoy this video, do consider sharing it around and leaving a like and a sub and maybe a comment to see what other kind of models you'd like me to test out locally for you would be fantastic. Yeah, cool. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.